welcome to this episode of Digital Media Made Easy with Miss B. Today we're going to be talking about some more brush tools in Photoshop. I will show you how to create folders for all your brushes so you can find them easily, where you can actually download more brushes for free, changing the direction of your brush, and also creating and saving your own brushes. So Photoshop has a great way to keep yourself organized. Once you have the brush tool, remember that's the shortcut key is B as in boy on the keyboard. You can click over here at the very top left hand side. There's a little down arrow. If you click the down arrow, these are all the brushes that are stored on in Photoshop. And I've already downloaded quite a few. You actually get a lot of brushes already pre-installed with Photoshop. So if I click these little folders, these are just the basic brushes, just round and fuzzy and different sizes. And you can basically toggle those little arrows. There's different types of, dry media brushes, and they all look just a little bit different. One thing that you may want to do is create a new folder to keep yourself organized, because you don't want to have just all kinds of brushes everywhere. So how you do that, you would just right click, and I just click on the very first folder, and then you can create, click on new brush group, and then you can type in a name for your folder. So I'm going to call this Miss B Best Brushes, and simply hit OK. And now if I want to move sets of brushes, I can do so easily. So for instance, I have a folder here called Miss B Favorites. So I'm going to just click this folder, and I'm going to drag it down to Miss B Best Brushes, and voila, I have moved that set of brushes. And if I click the down arrow, there they are right there. You can also download new brushes. So Adobe has several brush packets that you can download. So you again just can right click on in here, and you can choose Get More Brushes. And this will open up Adobe Photoshop, their website, where you can actually download whatever you want. So they're all free. So that's wonderful. So for instance, if you wanted to download some Impressionist brushes, it does give you a little description of what the brushes look like, but you can't really see the actual brush tips here, which I wish we could do that, but we can't. So you simply just click on download, and then once it pops up over here in the top right hand side, I can literally just click on this folder, and then they will just load right into Photoshop. And it might just take a few seconds. And so if I click my brush panel again over here, I can see, oops, I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. I can see I now have those Impressionist brushes. So that is how you download more brushes and create different folders to store your brushes. The next thing I want to show you is how to change the tip of your brush. So sometimes when you have a brush, you want your brush tip to turn. Maybe you want to turn it to be more horizontal or vertical. So you can open up the brush panel. So if you click on the menu bar, click Window, and then click Brushes. And then this will show all of your brushes that you have stored on the computer in your so this is all the brushes that you have saved. So if you click on brush settings here, this is where you would actually change the brush tip. So I'm going to try to find a good one. Hopefully this won't take me too long. So these are all the brushes that I have saved. Let's see here. Here we go. So I think this one will work. So I have these really cool sort of paint dripping brush. I don't know why it's not populating a preview here. Cannot use the brush tool because the layer is hidden. Hang on one second, sorry about that. Let me go over here, let me go back. Okay, so I had my layer hidden, that's why it wasn't working. I had my layer turned off, I should say. So once you select a brush, it does give you a little preview of what your brush will look like. And so these are some pretty cool dripping paint brushes. Oh dear, everything's going wrong today. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Let me delete this layer right here. Sorry about that. Okay, try that again. Okay, here we go. So here is a drip paint, a brush that looks like dripping paint. But what if I wanted this to be going more vertical instead of horizontal? So right over here, there is a little next to flip. I can either flip this vertically or horizontally. Sometimes this will work. I like dragging this little compass looking thing. I usually like to turn the spacing off so I can actually see, and then actually dragging the spacing all the way to 1000%. Sometimes that helps, so I can just see a better preview of what my brush will look like. And then if I drag this little arrow here, you can see on the bottom there that is the direction that my brush has now turned. So if I come over here, I can make a brush mark going that way. Okay. I don't know how, you never know when you might have some sideways looking paint. So there you go. But that works with most of the brushes. Some brushes it does not work with. So here is a little orange peel. I can also change the size of my brush right here. So I'm gonna drag that down just a little bit. Okay, oops, that was too much. So here's a little orange peel, which is looking pretty cool. Also the bracket keys. So underneath the plus and minus sign, I can also change the size of my brush really quickly there. So right now I have a horizontal orange slice, but if I want my orange slice to be vertical, then this is how I change it. I change it over here. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you for this tutorial is how to create and save your own brushes. I'm going to go ahead and hit Control-Z several times just to clear my artboard, and I'm going to close this panel. So you can find this panel again by going on the menu bar and click on Window, and then click on Brushes, and then you rotate your brush tip right here. And there's all kinds of other settings right here that you can play with. I really honestly never play with those, but experiment with those and let me know what results you have. What was your favorite, and what were you able to create? So I'm going to just grab a rectangle shape, and I'm just going to create a rectangle, and I'm going to fill it with color. So, oh, sorry, it's already filled with color. And I'm going to grab a circle, and I'm just going to make something random here. I don't know. Okay, and I'm hitting V on my keyboard. That was my move tool, so I can move my shapes around. So let's just say I have this shape here and I want to save it. I want to use this over and over again in a piece of artwork. So what I would do is I would go over to my layers panel. So over here, I'm going to hold down the shift key and I'm going to select both of those layers that have these two shapes on it. So if I click this little eyeball, the shape will it will basically hide the shape. It's still there. Right, so I held down the shift key and I selected the both of these layers over here. So this is the layers panel. And then I'm going to go up to edit and I'm going to choose define brush preset. Click on that and I can name it whatever I want to here. I'm just going to leave it this name because I'm going to end up deleting it anyway. Okay, so 1197, sample brush 1197, click OK. So now if I go back up to my brush panel, there it is. And so I'm just going to delete those two layers just so you can see that this actually does work. So I've got this sampled brush 1197 chosen. And now if I want to make that same shape, there it is all over again. I can change the color, whatever I want to do. Hit X by hitting X on your keyboard, that will flip the colors. Sometimes though these will not be able to change the tip. Let's see if we can actually change the tip of this. Oh yes, we can. We can change the tip. So there we go. Very cool. All right, again hitting Control-Z, stomping down on the Control-Z. Another way to save your brush is that you can actually make a selection off of a photograph. And I've already created a selection on this photo, and so I'm going to load that in here really quickly. You can watch my videos on selections in another video. Okay, so basically I've now got my selection highlighted, and it's that same exact process. Is just go up to edit and define brush preset. Okay, and so this is sampled brush 1198. Click OK, and we go back to our brushes over here. So here it is, sampled brush 1198. And let's just say I want to start making some little brush marks. I don't know why that's not working. I'm going to hit Control D. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right. And then if I want to change the direction of this brush, I'm going to go back up to my windows. Okay, so same exact process that I did before. Okay, and I can just flip this around a little bit. Again, hit the spacing. Okay, and change the color. Kinds of fun stuff. So you can add that. You can really do this off of any photograph. So anything you photographed, you can make a brush off of that. So it's pretty cool. So that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed using the Photoshop brushes. They are pretty amazing. I will see you next time.